Welcome back, my students. I'm Ellie, and today we're going to be talking about irregular verbs. So let's get started. I've done a video on past tense regular verbs. To make regular verbs form the past tense and past participle, we add ed to the base form. So, for example, a regular verb would be walk, and the past tense would be walked. I've posted the past tense regular verbs in the description box below. Today I'm talking about irregular verbs. For example, go would be went. Irregular verbs don't follow the ed rule. But how do you know when to add ed or when a verb is irregular? Well, today I'm going to answer that question and give you some examples. First, there isn't a rule for knowing when to use ed or when a verb is irregular. Isn't English fun? But there are 3 ways to help you learn irregular verbs. The first is read. The best way to learn the difference is reading. I post stories every Friday, and you can use these stories to look for verbs or actions and look to see if they're regular or irregular. Let's look at this paragraph. And he looked at his wife, not with a smile now, but with hatred. She glanced at him too, and also with hatred and anger. She had her own daydreams, her own plans, her own reflections. She understood perfectly well what her husband's dreams were. She knew who would be the first to try to grab her winnings. Do you see the verbs? Let's mark them. Looked is a regular verb. Glanced, another regular verb. Understood. There's an irregular verb. The present form is understand. The next one is were. Were is one of those forms of be. Remember, when you hear forms of be, think am, is, was, were, and are. Okay, so we have she knew who would be the first to try to grab her. Try to grab, not grabbed, because of the words try to. When you see the words try to, you must use the present form. And do it with tried, as in tried to run, tried to play, tried to eat. Tried to do something in the past. In this sentence we have she knew who would. That's your past tense, knew and would. Would try to. That's another word grouping. Those words go together and tell you that it should be try to plus action or the verb in present tense. She knew who would, past tense, be the first to do what? To try to do something. By the way, this paragraph is in this Friday's story, so make sure you listen and read the lottery ticket. I read the story, and there is a vocabulary list as well. The second way is to sing. Watch this video to rap the irregular verbs performed by Jason Levine with Fluency MC. This rap has a lot of those irregular verbs, and if you like to rap, you might like it. I'll leave the link in the description box below. The third way is groups. Grouping the irregular verbs into groups can be helpful. There are actually 13 groups. If you want the complete list of words in each group, go to EnglishFunZone.com and join to download the free PDF file. The link is in the description box below. I'm going to read the first group of irregular verbs. And remember, this is American pronunciation. Simple past, the vowel changes to a. Past participle, the vowel changes to as in began, begun, drank, drunk, rang, rung, ran, run, sang, sung. Simple past, vowel reduction. Past participle, vowel reduction. For example, fed, fed, bled, bled, led, led, lit, lit. Simple past, no change. Past participle, no change. Cut, cut, bet, bet, cost, cost, hit, hit. Simple past, the vowel changes to O. Past participle, the vowel is O and ends in N. For example, broke, broken, chose, chosen, forgot, forgotten, froze, frozen. Simple past, the vowel changes to ew. Past participle ends in own. For example, blew, blown, flew, flown, grew, grown, knew, known. Simple past, the vowel changes. Past participle ends in N. For example, fell, fallen, bit, bitten, drew, drawn, ate, eaten. Simple past, the vowel changes to A. Past participle, no change. Became, become, came, come. Simple past ends in T. Past participle also ends in T. For example, built, built, bent, bent, burnt, burnt, dreamt, dreamt. Dream is one of those where it can be both. Dreamed, the same past and participle. Had, had, dug, dug, found, found, got, got. Simple past, the vowel changes to O. Past participle, the vowel is I and ends in N. For example, drove, driven, rode, ridden, rose, risen, wrote, written. Simple past ends in D. Past participle ends in D as well. For example, heard, heard, paid, paid, said, said, laid, laid. Simple past ends in ought. Past participle ends in ought. Brought, brought, bought, bought, fought, fought, thought, thought. Here are some others. Was, were, been. Beat, beaten, did, done, went, gone. This is one way to group irregular verbs. There are other ways you can group these words as well. I prefer reading instead of making groups of words, but some of you may like the challenge of memorizing all of the irregular verbs. Remember to go to English Fun Zone and download the PDF file. Test yourself. Can you fill in the blanks before looking at the answers? Let me know in the comments section below. And for more verbs, check out some of these videos. Thanks for watching, my students. Bye.